The girl looked up, and a small lion fell from the sky, though she had no idea where it came from. Seeing the poor little lion, Emma couldn't bear to leave it in the dangerous forest, so she took it home. But just as Emma was about to close the door, a white wolf, carrying its cub in its mouth, burst in. Emma was confused, but she bravely stepped forward to see what was going on. It turned out that she knew this white wolf. Not long ago, while Emma was walking in the forest, she had come across the wolf. At that time, its body was tangled in ropes, rendering it unable to move. Emma used a small knife to cut the ropes, freeing the wolf. She was happy to have helped it, but she never expected the wolf to come into her room, carrying its cub, and refused to leave. Emma was troubled, as her house had turned into a zoo. Just then, a patrol officer from the Animal Protection Association came asking about the little lion. It turned out that not long ago, the lion's mother had been ruthlessly shot by hunters, and her cub had been sold to a circus. However, during transportation, the plane crashed. Fortunately, the little lion didn't die in the crash, but instead fell into Emma's arms. Now, when Emma heard that it was a circus lion, she decided to keep it a secret. Emma had lost her parents when she was young, and just a few days ago, her beloved grandfather had passed away. She didn't want the little lion to live a lonely life like she had.
I love you, my blue fairy.
I love you too.
Back at home, Emma found the white wolf nursing its cub. At that moment, the little lion walked toward the white wolf. Emma was about to stop it, but the lion climbed into the wolf's arms and began to share its milk with the cub. The white wolf didn't stop them, perhaps seeing the little lion as just another baby. After a few days, the two little creatures became the best of brothers. At the same time, they began to follow Emma everywhere. When Emma practiced the piano, they would go outside to play, but whenever Emma stopped playing, they would stay close to her. A few days later, the day of Emma's piano exam arrived. She reminded the two little ones to be good at home and open a window so the white wolf could come and go freely. As expected, Emma's exam went smoothly. She successfully became a member of the Los Angeles Symphony Orchestra. Her dream of many years had finally come true, but Emma couldn't feel happy. This meant she couldn't go back to care for the two little ones anymore. The little wolf had its mother to care for, so there was no need to worry too much. So Emma began looking for a place for the little lion. But just then, a surprise occurred. While the white wolf was out hunting, it was spotted by the staff of the White Wolf Conservation Center. They raised their tranquilizer guns and shot the wolf. They took it away.
Oh, where have you been hiding all this time?
When Emma returned home, she was stunned by what she saw. The two little ones had made a mess of the house, and they were desperately searching for food. It was at that moment that Emma noticed the white wolf was gone. She anxiously rushed outside to search for it, but she still couldn't find any trace of the wolf. The sudden disappearance of the wolf left Emma feeling helpless. She knew she couldn't juggle both work and caring for them, so Emma decided to send them to the Animal Protection Association. But just as Emma was about to contact the association, a mother and daughter arrived on the island. When the wolf and the lion saw them, they ran toward them, curious. Emma was terrified when she saw this, and she quickly ran to stop them, but she accidentally tripped on a rock, falling hard and knocking her head on the ground, losing consciousness. The wolf, seeing Emma unconscious, was frantic. It acted like a child who had made a mistake, rubbing its body against Emma desperately. At that moment, the lion also arrived. They anxiously paced around Emma, roaring for someone to come help. But this was a remote island. Would Emma get the help she needed? Riding whale, meet the polar bear's favorite food. With one bite, the fat immediately melts in its mouth. This thick layer of fat is a rare high-energy feast in the extreme cold. A well-fed polar bear can go for 6 whole months without eating, surviving the harsh winter by relying on its stored fat reserves. As for the young polar bears, to make it through the winter, they must rely entirely on their mother's milk. The mother bear transforms the fat she has stored into high-calorie milk to feed her cubs. This process continues for 3 to 4 months. And during this time, the mother bear, who cannot eat, endures some of the toughest moments. After 3 months, the blizzards finally subside. The hungry mother bear emerges from her den, leaving the warmth of her den. The two little cubs seem unable to adapt to the outside temperature, but for the sake of survival, they can only follow their mother closely. They must walk over 200 kilometers to reach Hudson Bay for hunting. Along the way, they suddenly spot an Arctic fox digging through the snow. The mother polar bear certainly won't let this opportunity slip by, and for the first time, the cubs get a taste of fresh meat. Though it's not as good as a seal feast, it's enough to provide a little energy for their bodies. Just then, the cub's father appears. The mother polar bear knows very well that males in heat are dangerous. She quickly urges the cubs to escape, staying behind to buy them some time. But the hungry mother bear is no match for the male, so she pretends to comply. At this critical moment, another male unexpectedly barges in, and the two polar bears engage in an intense battle over mating rights. The mother bear must hurry. They need to escape before the fight ends. But after so long without food, the mother bear is exhausted, and for her cub's safety, she has no choice but to endure. Near the edge of Hudson Bay, the silhouette of a seal appears on the ice. While hunting underwater, the young seals, unable to swim, can only wait on the ice. This gives the hungry mother bear some hope, but the seal mother, underwater, has already noticed the polar bear on the ice. Just as the mother polar bear charges forward, the seal mother hurriedly emerges from a breathing hole and issues a stern warning. In the final second before the polar bear reaches her, the young seal dives into the water, and the mother bear's hunt fails. If she doesn't catch anything soon, the little cubs will starve to death. Suddenly, the scent of blood fills the air. A male polar bear has successfully hunted a seal and is now enjoying a seal feast, but the male bear won't share it with them. Once he's full, the male polar bear hides the food away. At this point, the mother bear comes up with a bold idea. Once the male leaves, she'll take her cubs to retrieve the seal carcass. Though the method isn't the most honorable, it will fill their stomachs. The female orca led her family to surround a lone seal. Adult orcas need to eat one seal a day to satisfy their hunger. This forces the orca pod to spend a significant amount of time hunting. At this moment, the female orca, the leader of the pod, was sticking her head out of the water, searching for a seal on the ice floes. Soon, she spotted a Weddell seal, and the orca pod surrounded it, ensuring they could capture their prey. After calculating the size and position of the seal, they began their attack from a distance, using their tails to slap the water surface, creating waves as they closed in. Each strike fractured the sea ice, shrinking the seal's space to escape. On the third strike, the seal couldn't hold on any longer and plunged into the water. When it tried to climb back onto the ice, it was already too late. But a single seal couldn't fill the stomachs of all the orcas. They needed to hunt again, looking for other seals resting on the ice. Soon, they spotted another Weddell seal, climbing onto an ice floe. The orca pod tried to capture it, but the desperate seal kept biting at the approaching orcas. The orca pod was very patient, changing tactics by blowing bubbles at the seal. This disoriented the seal, and in the end, it became another meal for the orca pod. However, this seal only provided a few bites for each member of the pod, still not enough to fill their stomachs, so they had to set off hunting once more. Before long, they spotted another Weddell seal, and after assessing the situation, the orca pod formulated a plan. Although the ice floe where the Weddell seal was resting was large, it wasn't difficult for the orcas to shatter it. The orca pod quickly gathered strength and launched an attack on the ice floe. As they swiftly swam past, the massive ice floe was shattered. At that moment, the Weddell seal seemed helpless, but the orca pod had another plan in place. The older orcas flipped the seal off the ice floe into the water. The seal tried to climb back onto the floe, but the remaining floes around it were too small. Just then, an unexpected event occurred. A pair of adult sperm whales appeared near the orca pod. Clearly, they wanted to stop the orcas from hunting. But these sperm whales underestimated the determination of the orca pod. Not only did they successfully hunt the Weddell seal, but they also carried the seal's carcass in their mouths, swimming toward the sperm whales as though they were showing off. In the end, the helpless sperm whales had no choice but to leave, and the orca family's hunt was far from over.